Sorry for the movement on there, but I'm using a really not set up tripod type thing, phone mount. But anyways, this is the first time I ever anodized anything, so let's see if I can do it. I'm using just 9-volt Amazon basic batteries. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. You get them there. I recommend them. And we're using baking soda for the solution in the water. I'm not using TSP solution. You probably heard of that if you're watching this video. You don't really need that, but it does work better in a way. But I don't need that. I really don't need that. This is my first attempt ever though. This is the bronze color I got with one battery, and this is how it looks like bare. After I used the rust remover. Before I was trying flame anodizing, not anodizing, but it's called oxidizing, and that's where you blow torch it with propane or acetylene and oxygen torches, and you get the same, like almost the same effect, but it does like a thicker layer, while this way is using electricity. It's pretty simple. Right here on this side, I have a metal spoon. On this side, and then I have a titanium pocket clip from a Benchmade Anthem that I'm using for the anode side, and this is the cathode side. It's a steel barbecue spoon, a sauce spoon. But I already have it taped in there. I can show you it, but it's just basic thing. You can use anything, and I bent it over, and then I have it connected to a alligator clip thing that I bought, a whole pack for $5.99. I have a bunch of them, and then I have a red one connected to the titanium clip. And you simply connect the positive side. You connect the anode side to the positive side of the battery, which is the small side of a 9-volt battery, like that. And you let it, you just make sure you get a decent connection. Sometimes these alligator clips are kind of, I should have got a little bit bigger ones. But you just basically hook it there. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be the best connection, but recommended you get a decent one. You don't want any little sparks, especially when you're working with more batteries connected. And then you connect the negative to the bigger side, which is connected to the metal spoon, like I said. And you normally want something bigger than what you're anodizing. This is a decently sized spoon, but you don't want to use a lot of people use bent forks, and they try the handle. It doesn't anodize as quickly. It will work, but sometimes it's not as effective. The titanium side normally doesn't matter as long as it's titanium sticking in the water, because if you don't, it will have a tendency to spark, and the water it'll mess it up. So don't just stick the straight up like the alligator clip straight up into the water. You want to have a little. I just barely dunked it in there. The titanium. It's a little pocket clip. And I mixed the solution with baking soda until I saw it, not start like building up. You just want to keep on doing it till it dissipates into the water. And how I cleaned the scales is I used this rust remover, and it's a little, you just put enough just to dunk your thing in. It's this one right here, in case you're wondering. You probably heard of it too from other videos. It's really good. Bought it on Amazon for like $5. This is a 10-ounce bottle, and I'd use that. That's what's in that water. It's normally clear, but it's that color because it took off my flame oxidizing, and it did a pretty dang good job. It made it almost bare, and that's because those scales are these scales right here are bead blasted. So if you have smooth scales, it'll work even better, but this is bead blast. That's why it has that look to it. Which, hey, if I don't get it perfect, this is the first time I ever tried this, so And then you use Windex to clean off anything. Like right now I'm about to clean it, and then I'm going to dunk it into my distilled I cut a water bottle open right here. Oh yeah, these are all just water bottle containers. This is like those 1 gallon spring water containers. Here's the one I use. It's a 1 gallon thing. I just cut it open and boom, that's my anodizing tank. You don't need anything fancy to do it, and then but you do need distilled water, because if you don't use distilled water, there's a lot of minerals in regular spring water. So use distilled water, or else you will get like a layer of not oxidized, but a layer of minerals on your knife from the voltage, which it won't be bad, but it won't be that more brighter color you're looking for probably. So yeah, this is it. Okay, let's try it. Let's see what I can do. I'm gonna try. This is the color you get with 9 volts. I don't really want to show that because look, that's how it looks like. So I'm gonna try the other scale. I'm gonna try a couple batteries, maybe 2 or 3 batteries right now. We'll try 18 volts. Cut this open. Cut that open. I've had the string earlier because I was dipping it in the rust remover, and you don't want to get your hands in there. I have gloves, but it works a lot better with just string and just dunk it in there. The less contact with your your fingers to any type of chemical, the better. All right, now let me just clean this up real quick with the Windex. Do it off to the side over here. And let me grab it. Let me put one of the gloves on, just so I don't get fingertips into here. My fingers, all my oils. That's one thing that really important, is not getting your finger oils on this thing, on the scales, or whatever you're anodizing, because then you'll get your finger oils on it and it won't anodize right. Put this glove I had. So yeah, let me see if I could turn it that way. That's the little pocket clip right there. There's just you could order from Benchmade and they'll send you one. Just ask for the Benchmade Anthem clip and they will send you it. Especially if you have a Benchmade and you need other clips, ask them, they'll send you it for free. But I'm using it as a sacrificial anode to do it. So if you're like, how can I get it? And I was gonna have titanium wire, but it didn't come in yet. So I'm just doing what I have. This came in today, and the Windex came in today. I ordered on Amazon too. Amazon is pretty fast, but the titanium wire is from a different country, I think, and that's why it's taking a long time. It's not in their warehouses yet. So let's try 2 batteries, and all you do is hook up the how it looks like, the buttons. Boom, you put it in series like that. You don't want to somehow put it in I think it's parallel or whatever, and oh no, circuit, I forgot what it's called exactly, but if you flip it and connect it like that, you don't want to do that. So you just do that, and now you hook it up back to the the negative is the big one, and boom, there's your 2 things. The duct tape I'm using, have it hooked up like that, ready to go. And let's get the knife scale out. Let me just clean that side too. Wash off just rinse off real with the distilled water all the Windex on there. The Windex helps with clean all the finger oils off. And then it's already hooked up, and you just touch the what do you call it? Well, let me use my grippers, because I already hooked up a little set. My very highly engineered steel grippers, super cheap. You can get them for 50 cents to $1 at the dollar store or Dollar General or anywhere. So I'm just using these so I don't stick my fingers into the solution. I don't think you would get shocked, but safety's number 1 priority over here. I don't really want to get shocked. I don't think 18 volts will do anything though. But you see how it looks bare like that? We're gonna dip it into the bath right here. And you don't want to really like, you know, touch the steel. That's why I have it duct tape with that zebra tape. But you'll see real quickly, whatever I dip in the water is what's gonna get tight, what's gonna get anodized. And what you see is gonna be like a dark purpley color. Let me move a little bit better. You're gonna see a little bit dark purpley color, but you see where I didn't dip it in, and you'll see a light bronze because that's where it's losing the voltage at when you come out of the water, and boom, that's what you get. But you could always flip it. If your tank's not big enough, you could flip it and just touch the titanium, and that's what all it's doing. I've seen a lot of videos and it works. I mean, it's no black magic. It's straight up what you do right there. And I kind of like that. It's a really dark purple, but you could kind of not. You can't even see the silver behind it, but you could see it's a real dark purple. It's not vibrant or anything, but it's cool. It almost looks brown, but it's not brown. It's just tricking you because of the backgrounds. Definitely purple though. So let's let me finish doing the rest of it. Let me flip it real quick. Just dip it in this thing. You know what? I'm not even gonna use the tongs. It's kind of getting irritating. But make sure your gloves are sealed. Obviously, you don't want any electricity getting you. Or if you feel anything, just drop what you're doing. It's not gonna hurt you. And right away, it's already turning bronze. You'll see that little spot right there. Look at that. Right. Look, the only part I didn't dip is the color it didn't anodize. Look, even on the other side, that's what happens. But hopefully this video helps you see it, because on a lot of videos they don't show or what's exactly happening. And this video is proof that all you need is baking soda. You don't need TSP, and that's one of the a lot of people are saying that you need TSP because if it's thick, it's not going to work. But these are thin. It's 3D sculpted. As you can see, it's milled out right there, and it has ribs, but it's also bead blasted. So I don't know what people are saying about that you need TSP, except if you're trying to get that really vibrant, like a toxic. Oh, what the heck? There's a little bug in there. If you're trying to get that toxic bright green with the high voltage, which is in about the 190, like the 90 to 100 voltage, which I'm only using right here is 9 volts. That's 18 volts. Then you kind of want to use that stronger TSP, but I don't think it's needed. It's not necessary. Not for doing little basic stuff with about a couple 9-volt batteries from the store. And let's just do it again. And you want to shake it too. You want to get the air bubbles out. You don't want like that, or else you could get spotty. But if you just get spotty, you just redo it. You just redip it. See, I pretty much got it all right there. Oh, look, there's that water beetle. See, it doesn't even shock the water beetle. It's not gonna shock you unless you get to the high voltage. Like I said, then you want to make sure you're all gloved up, or use tongs or pliers with rubber. Well, that's how it looks like with just 2 batteries. Let me just get the rest, and then we'll try a couple more batteries. Maybe double it. They always show them shake it, but you don't really have to shake it. You just gotta move it around, flip it maybe. You're good. Look at that. That's really nice purple. I'm pretty happy. That's actually a nicer purple. It was like more of like a brown color, but it's like a flat purple, and it's only flat because of bead blast. Like I said, if you have shiny scales, but it's like perfect. I don't see any imperfections on it because that's another thing. Make sure if you do this, just invest in this and you'll be really happy. The Wink brand. And I would recommend a bigger bottle because you could always do it more, because baking soda is really cheap. But this stuff, if you get like the 20-ounce bottle, boom, you're set. And as long as you dip it in here, and you could always redo it. You mess up, or you don't like this color, or you want to do like half and half, just remove the rust. Remove the anodization. Start over, and it eats it right away because this is real thin. It's almost like electroplating with like how good they electroplate with gold. kind of like the same thing, but this is just like the titanium's way of rusting. But look, I'm really happy with this color. Let's see. Let's try. Let me hook up a couple more batteries right here for y'all to see. You just simply disconnect. It's not gonna hurt you. We'll try in increments of 2. I only have 6 right here, but you know, I think that's 54 volts. 6 times what, 9 or something? Yeah, so just hook them up. There's 3. So let me hook up one more. So we'll double, basically we're doubling the voltage right here. And all you're doing is putting them in series, basically back to back. I think I could even hook up an alligator clip to the other one if it doesn't. For some reason, these batteries aren't clicking. Like Energizers, they click a lot better together. Come on. Let me see. Let me do this off camera. And sorry for the video. It's a live stream, but I was too lazy to put it on record because it automatic uploads after this, so you don't see no cuts and edits or anything. What's going on here? These batteries, the negative side is a little flimsy, but that's what you get for paying a little bit cheaper. You don't need fancy crap. Yeah, we're gonna try with 4. And what I'm gonna do instead of that, I'm gonna hook up with alligator clips because it's not sticking right. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm basically just documenting that thing. I've never done this before, but it felt kind of scary at first. The only thing scary is this rust remover. You want to be really careful with that. You get shocked. You will get shocked. I mean, you will not get shocked. You'll get burned. Your skin will probably burn off. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it could hurt. There's a reason for that. You don't want to ingest it, but let's say if you get metal, you don't want to get metal rust and then you get that acid on there. That's when it activates it, and that's when it'll hurt you, not just touching it. I don't think it'll do anything if you just touch it with your bare skin, but I'm positive if you get rust and then you put rust remover, it'll try to dissolve your skin in a way. But anyways, we got the 4 batteries right here, so let's see. I don't know what color we're gonna get exactly, but we'll see. So remember, the positive is the small one. And then the negative, just hook up the negative to your other side. If you had better batteries, it would work, but these are the cheapest ones. All right, and then let's get the purple knife handle that I did earlier. As you can see, we're just gonna do this side too because it's gonna be really too long to do the other side. Oh, and another tip before I start is, you see, if you can't take off your lock board insert with that and your blade stop, I mean your lock stop, so it doesn't pass. And this one works as a lock face, so your blade mechanism doesn't rub. But I put nail polish, you just get any nail polish from the dollar store or something. This is a red one because red one, you see it better. It works good in the rust remover. It doesn't get it doesn't like tear off or anything, or it doesn't tear off in this anodizing bath, which I just tried earlier. But if it does, you're just doing that just to protect the ceramic ball or anything. You don't want to, once you get a high voltage, you could corrode it, which you don't want. But anyways, let me clean this again with the Windex, because if I don't do that, it'll be spotty. And then you just dip it back in your distilled water. Shake it around there. But yeah, I used about half already. Half in here, and then about after I was using the rust thing, I dumped this out. You can use the same container. It's not going to eat it away or anything. Unless you get a stronger chemicals, they sell stronger ones. This one works fine, and this is just straight up baking soda. It's not going to do anything. I don't really have to renew this. You could always add a little bit of baking soda, or after a while, I think it does wear off. You just keep on doing it, refreshing it. It's pretty cheap. But let's see what 4 batteries do. Let's see what it does. Let's see. I'm just gonna try just dipping it, see what it does. And always kind of like shake it in there so you don't get no air bubble traps. Oh, it's a real vibrant looking blue. You can almost feel the electricity in a way, but it's not shocking me. It's shocking not shocking, but it's look at that. Look what it did. There's just the part I dip. It's gonna do that because that's where the voltage travels. I actually really like this. It's almost like a light teal. And boom, there you go. You can see, that's what I was saying about half and half. You could do that, and then I could take off this right here, and I could do that bronze color, so you get bronze, blue, and like a purple, and you get that little dividing line right there, real fine line. You could also duct tape it and do it too, but I don't really want to do any designs. I just want to do solid for now. See, like I'm gonna dip this side, it's gonna do the same thing. It does it instantly. Look at that. It does it both sides. This side is a little bit darker though, for some reason. Oh, it's not. It's because I barely put it in there, so it has that purple behind it. So if you want to do it, you have to do it really quickly to get that. You see how that that blue is darker? You have to do it really quickly. But I'm gonna see that light blue in the front. I'm gonna get that light blue. You just hold it and shake it a little tiny bit. And flip it maybe. See, it's back to the light blue because it took all the purple behind it. And sometimes if you get to the higher colors and you're trying to get a bright color, you're gonna want to take the rust remover, take off all the basic colors that you did before, because if you think about it, it's actually layers and layers of anodization, which is a coating of rust, basically like titanium rust. So if for brighter colors, I know for a fact that you got to take it off if you want the purest, greenest color, but it'll still work. It just will be with layers and layers of different colors, which is cool because it actually gives you a more stronger coating. But look at that, it's actually perfect right there. I just got to get that middle section. And boom, it's pretty much done. But what do you call it? This side's done, but you see that tiny bit dip? That's what happens if you accidentally don't dip it in there. So you just go back and do it real quickly. Make sure you touch the titanium. That's how it works. And if you see any sparks, just straight up just drop your item in there. It's not gonna do anything. Don't try to hold on to it, which your fingers may have a tendency to try to do that if you get to the high voltage. But yeah, that's pretty much all what it does is right there. It's real nice. It's almost like a baby blue color. It actually looks more to the color of my glove, but in the camera I can see it's kind of it looks like a silvery blue, but it's more like a baby blue in the actual light. And look at that, it got the whole inside done. I'm just gonna get a little bit more on this side. It's coated, but I can see that little darkness to it. Take a second. There you go, shake it out. And then you're gonna wanna just hit it with a Windex. It'll take off that baking soda water mix that you have. It'll also make sure, you keep that color in a way, in a sense. And then you just dip it back in your distilled water, your neutralizer basically. Shake it in there. Now let's try the 6 batteries. I don't. Let me move my positive lead. Should be fine like that. And then I'm gonna just do, let's see. Where's my last battery? Here it is. And boom, we just do the same. You're just doing the same thing. This is 54 volts right here. Should be about 54 volts. So you do got to be careful because you could get a little tingle or shock, but it's nothing that's gonna kill you. Normally anything over 130 will, that's when you'll start having you could get yourself into what, cardiac arrest or whatever that is. I forgot exactly what it's called. Yeah, let me make sure I'm hooking right. Yeah, positive is a small one. And boom. Should be ready to go. Here's the 6 batteries right here. And there you go. I'm actually glad I don't have to use the rust remover so far, but let's see what we get. If you use the rust remover and then you go to higher voltage, you will get a brighter color for sure. Or you could get a brighter color because you're like jumping straight up to that layer. It's kind of the opposite of painting, because normally you could hit it with lighter colors to the lightest color with painting because it helps. But in this case, anodizing is kind of the opposite. And the clip should be the same color as these voltages too. It's kind of crazy. And after, if sometimes, let's say after you're doing this for a while and you're like, how come my color's not coming out right? It might be because your anode, your sacrificial titanium piece that you're using is so coated that it's not letting that voltage go into the water. So what you're gonna want to do is get that, dump it in rust remover real quick. Basically, or you could sand it down, grind it down, whatever you need to do to get it to bare titanium, and then it'll work. So let's see. Let me hit it with the, no, I already hit it with the Windex, so let me just dip it one more time in the water. Get all the fingerprints off. So let me try it, touching it with the thing and see what happens. It might get a green color, but it's not as toxic green. Toxic green's a light lime green. This is gonna be more like I think a metallic type green, which is cool too. Yeah, this is almost like a kind of like a lime, but a little bit different. It's not toxic green. Toxic green looks like the zombie green or something. This is more like a lime-ish green. Pretty cool though. Look, I got that too. Pretty much the only parts I didn't dip. It's it's doing it. So it's working pretty good. Way better than I thought. Way easier. Never done this, so it's kind of sketchy. I was kind of skeptical at first, thinking I was gonna get shocked or something. But I'm using 54 volts in a glove. You could use tongs to be more safe, like I was going to use, but it's a lot more difficult. You could always double up your glove too, and it'll work a lot better. Or use those heavy duty gloves that go all the way to your wrists. But there you go. That's basically it right here. And these stains right here that you see on the bottom is actually because I used the flame oxidizing. But I mean, it's smooth. It's smooth. It's really smooth. It just has that layer. So the next thing I'm gonna do, just hit it a little bit more. I kind of want to try going straight up from the gray bare titanium to this, and let's see what we get. I'm gonna leave this right here just so you guys can see it in the camera view. Hopefully it's not gonna be completely gray because I'm using that light bronze from the first battery, which all it is that really tiny tinge of a bronze. On a shiny non-sandblasted thing, it would look a lot more bronze, but this is bead blasted. So let me hit it with this Windex, and then let me dip it in the thing again. And hopefully that nail polish doesn't come off, but I don't think it will. It's really for the rust remover I'm kind of skeptical about. You do want to be a little bit more careful because that is steel, so you don't want to like touch the spoon to the steel lock bore somehow, and you could cause a spark. But I don't think we're gonna have that trouble right here. Just hit it. So I want to see the color we get, since I have that weird bronze thing straight up to the 54 volts or the 6 9-volt batteries. That's what I hooked up. It's going through all the color stages real fast. It honestly looks really cool whenever you go to bear like that. Look at that. It's going really fast. It hasn't even done what it's about to do. It's about to turn to that green color. But I really like that blue. I can see the nail polish like sizzling in a way, bubbling, because it's traveling that voltage in, and that's what happens. But dang, I really like that blue. I kind of want to keep it like blue and green, because like that real, it looks like almost like throw up green. But man, I really like that. I'm really happy with the results so far. But you can see that nail polish is kind of burning in there, which is fine. It's not getting to the front. You could always just scrape it off. It's really just that detent ball that I'm really concerned about. I don't really care about the rest. If the steel gets there, you could just clean it. Gets like a rust, but there's that one little spot I didn't get. But let's see if I get it this time. Oh wow, it's turning to a light blue. So it just matters how long you're doing it at a time. You could do it really quickly or really for however long, and it'll turn to a lighter blue. Which I'm gonna stick to the light blue for tonight, but or try it a little bit different. But I'm not gonna be recording. I'm pretty happy with the results though. Yeah, it's acting kind of weird because of the lock bar. So just keep that in mind. If you do have the steel connected to it, it kind of stops it from coloring completely, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna see if I get it though. I want to see if I get it. Well, it's not gonna want to change because remember, I had that bronze color right there too. That's exactly what it's doing. So what you want to do is make sure your whole thing is, if you want to keep the same color, you want to make sure you start at the same color. You don't want to dip it bronze and then move up to the next voltage, because this is what's going to happen. So it's a learning experience for me to that. And I could dip like this part in the rust remover and then dip it from the other ones and get cool mix. I can make like a rainbow tie-dye looking color, but it's pretty cool. I'm happy with the results. So there you go. That's how you anodize, basically, with using just 9-volt batteries. If I had a power supply, I could go all the way up to 120, but I don't have one right now with me that I could use at the ready. I'm happy with it. It's gonna be kind of cool. I'm gonna hook up my knife and have both right here, both colors. So basically you just need Windex or any glass type, a glass cleaner, distilled water. This stuff is really recommended so far because it ate through even the flame oxo, which is quadruple the what anodizing does. Baking soda, or you don't even have to use name brand, but its name brand is pretty cheap. And 9-volt batteries or a power supply. Just be careful with the power supply; it goes higher. A little plastic tank, a metal spoon, or a fork, or a piece of metal that you could bend or have in the water. And you don't want to be touching your anodizing part your titanium part to the spoon. So cover it up with tape or something, but keep the backside, you know, as long as it's touching the water, it'll be fine. It'll make that connectivity, and it'll conduct. And then have a titanium sacrificial type thing. So get a pocket clip, an old one you're never gonna use. Some titanium wire would be even better, because then you could just get your titanium wire and your alligator clip or what, or your other piece of wire, and just dangle it in there. That's definitely more recommended, but I don't have that. I have it shipped, but it hasn't come yet. So you use whatever you got. And I'm kind of impatient, so I'm just trying to experiment and, you know, get it done for tonight. And basically that's all. Container, that use a separate container for rust removal, and there you go.